It is 6:48 on a beautiful Friday morning. We're live on location at the Jacksonville Zoo and Botanical Gardens, where there were people here at 3:40 this morning to see the grand opening of the new manatee exhibit and entrance at this beautiful facility. It's not often that you see the parking lot this jam-packed 2+ hours before the zoo opens. Wildlife wanderer Curtis Dvorak, you're blown away by the number of people who are here.
I am. It is just so cool. Like we knew there'd be people. Like we said, look, the first 10 people get a behind-the-scenes tour of the new habitat, and then the first 100 get a free manatee stuffy. But I thought 7:30, 8 o'clock. People would be 4 o'clock. We rolled up 3:45. That's just wild. That is so cool to see that many people excited about this. And the cars are still pouring in. Like, cars are pouring in right now as we're sitting here. I just keep watching. So
what's right behind us here? Right
behind us is the J. Wayne and Delores Barr Weaver Manatee River, 337,000 gallons of beautifully kept spring water, warm water, 80-degree water. As we saw at 5 a.m., one of our life support team was walking by checking the clarity. So it's a beautiful new habitat and exhibit, but it has so much more. Like, everything here at the zoo has so much more purpose behind it, and it is all about saving and rescuing and rehabbing manatees here in Florida.
It almost seems like the exhibit part is secondary.
It is. It's one of those things where we're lucky as guests to get to see this and watch this, but you're basically watching through a window of the hospital. Of these manatees as we bring them in and we rehab them, and then we want to release them back into the wild. So these front-facing pools that you're looking at right here, these are kind of what I call, where we're going to fatten them up before we get to release them, because a lot of times they got to make weight before they can go back into the wild. Under that roof and back, there's 4 medical pools, and 2 of them have floors that raise all the way up, so the manatees can be brought out of the water to do blood work and all the medical treatments that they might need from a boat strike or something like that.
This is part of the identity of the Jacksonville Zoo and Botanical Gardens. I mean, I think we talked about it maybe a year or so ago during the construction, that if we were to have a first impression for the Jacksonville Zoo and Botanical Gardens, other than maybe a jaguar because of the NFL team, it's manatees. It is
100% turned into that now. And this is, as you'll see in the merchandise shop, manatee has become, we had a manatee character once we had the Critical Care Center open in 2017. We added a manatee mascot. But it has now taken center stage. The manatee he's on all of our interpretive guide signs and stuff. We have this little fun manatee, Munchie. We're thinking of different names for him. I think Munchie is one of the names, Munchie the manatee. This is going to be coming. This is our front door. You walk in and you're going to see manatees right away, which is very unique for when you walk into a zoo to have, you check your tickets right there. Where we're sitting 10 feet behind us, I'm pointing like people are watching us. 10 feet behind where we're sitting, there's the entrance, and 30 feet away is the first exhibit you're going to see.
The amount of awareness that this is going to give, the proximity to the entrance for manatees and manatee conservation, not only will do so much for manatees, but I am predicting that it is going to affect the way people boat, the way people behave on the water, the way they select what kind of boats they have and where they go. I think that this is truly, pardon the pun, groundbreaking.
100%. And that's one of the things, the shirt I'm wearing that everybody can't see at home, it says respect the locals.
We posted it on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, check it out there. Respect the locals, with a picture of the manatee, which is a big slogan here in Florida, all over the springs. That's, Dr. Etling talks about this, our CEO here. He talks about, zoos, aquariums, these places are meant to inspire. And they're meant to inspire, people into curiosity about conservation. And that's what this is going to do, because you're exactly right. I'm a boater. One of the reasons I love the First Coast is I love being on boats in this area. And, I've been lucky enough, 20, 30 years ago to go to the springs and see manatees and stuff. And so when you see them in person, you see them face to face, it changed the way I drive my boat. It changes the way I am on the water, because when you see the signs as a boater, oh, manatee zone, slow down, you're like, oh, I can't see these things. But when you actually see them in person and you start to learn about them and you connect with them, you start realizing, oh, they are near a lot of docks. They are in the bridges. When you go under the bridges, you got to be slow. Like, give them a chance. And then when you see a manatee in here and you see that scar on its back from a boat strike, that is where it's really going to hit home for people and be like, golly. Somebody asked me, like, why should people care? And I said, listen, the dangers that manatees face are largely, mostly us. You know, boat strikes and fishing lines and things like that are the number one things we get with cold stress, you know, is one of the things, but the fishing line, so as fishermen and as boaters, like, it's one of those things that you're right. You're going to think differently. Be like, you know what, I should slow down around the docks. And you know what, I shouldn't just leave my fishing line in the water, you know, the bird's nest that sometimes happens, and just toss it in the water. You should clean that stuff up. And if you see other stuff, get it out of the water.
How many are here now, and how many can this hold?
We got 3 in here right now, Francesco, Alpine, and Cullen. And we have 1 over there, but this can hold, they're saying 20 we could hold in here, which will be a sight to see, bittersweet, you know, to see that many. But one of the really cool things, and I'm trying to get him on air with you here this morning, Cullen, not the manatee. I'm not going to get the manatee on air.
I mean, if you can do that, that would be great.
I did realize I led into that. That sounded kind of weird. But Cullen is the name of our project manager for this entire thing. Cullen Richard is our Zoo GC who handles all of our projects here. And the first manatee that went in was named Cullen. We didn't name it that for him. It was already named that. So it's just perfect synergy.
Wow. So what will people see when they have an opportunity to come today, this weekend, opening weekend, if you will, of this brand new exhibit?
Well, you're going to walk into this VyStar Skyscape, and it's going to be a much different entrance front door than you've walked in before. Love the old entrance, we can call it now. Love the old entrance. It's going to turn into an education campus. But this is state of the art. This is all of this is designed to help us with conservation, because whether you host your event under this big canopy, whether you host your event up in the 200-person room, the boardroom, whether you buy a ticket and walk through the gate here, all of it is going towards conservation. And so people are going to see a state-of-the-art new front door for this zoo that has one mission, and that's to protect wildlife and wild places here and around the world.
Pretty awesome to see. Doors open at 9 o'clock. A special exhibit, if you will get underway with some of the dignitaries and those who have donated to this. The chief donors, Jay Wayne and Delores Barr Weaver, a big part of this as well.